This is Rogue News, the news made by and for all modern rogues. In a horrifying event, a mountain lion attacked a 6-year-old girl while her family was out for a walk in the park. When the animal grabbed the child's leg, one of the nearby adults just straight up punched it in the ribs to get it off the girl, and then everybody got really loud until it went away. Officials say that people who happen across the path of a mountain lion should remain calm, make themselves large and loud, and slowly back away. Unless you want to spend your life with the creature, in which case, get some meth, firearms, and a lot of underpaid workers. Is that a Tiger King joke? When did you write this?
It's still relevant.
Super topical. When the pandemic hit and announcements were made about the government's financial relief efforts, most businesses applied for every single thing they could, knowing they were going to need all of it. The restaurant chain Shake Shack was one of those businesses applying for $10 million under the federal Paycheck Protection Program to support its employees in 250 locations. But after receiving the money originally intended for small businesses, Shake Shack, which already had $100 million in cash on hand, gave it back, acknowledging that other restaurants out there needed it more than they did. It's like their heart grew large enough to feel the suffering of their PR department. Remember, kids, being a gentleman isn't always about actively doing good. Sometimes it's about recognizing the wrong thing you've done and undoing it. While the world continues to struggle with lockdown and social distancing, some people are spreading cheer in the world like absolute superheroes. In fact, they wear the costumes and everything. In Colorado, Steve Kennedy, along with his father Scott, travels around to local businesses dressed as Captain America, thanking them from a safe distance for the work they're doing during the pandemic. And in England, one Steve Goodwin is running errands for people who can't leave home, and he's doing it while dressed as Spider-Man. I would dress up as the Incredible Hulk because just ripped up purple pants. That's it. Just purple pants. As it turns out, modern anti-theft technology is pretty effective against would-be car thieves, because real life isn't the Fast and the Furious, unfortunately, or Shameless, or even No Man's Land. But it's not a great defense against someone forcing their way into your home and demanding your car keys, which actually happened to a couple in Melbourne, Australia. Luckily, the victim had his own security system for that. A bass guitar that he picked up and wielded like a halberd. He chased the criminals to their getaway car and even smashed one of their windows. And like a true musician, even in a scary situation, he intentionally grabbed the least valuable guitar to use as his makeshift weapon. Has anyone ever paid for a bass guitar? You just kind of end up with one.
And then you're the bass player.
And then you're the bass player. A man who operates under the pseudonym Jim Browning had enough of scammers, but they're not exactly easy to bust, especially when they're in a foreign country. The only real way to identify the people behind a coordinated scamming operation would be something crazy, like hacking into their network so you could view their offices on CCTV. But that would be complicated, highly illegal, and something that Browning decided to do anyway. He went through hundreds of hours of footage and 70,000 phone calls. He handed his findings over to the BBC, including the name of one of the scammers in charge, Amit Chauhan. In Natick, Massachusetts, Jason Velasquez has been using the quarantine downtime to form a one-man To Catch a Predator crew. Just like the show, he puts himself out there as a miner on social networking sites and waits for the monsters to pounce. When a meeting is coordinated, Velasquez shows up and records the encounter on his phone while wearing a mask that hilariously reads, "I got the chat logs."
So if I was threatening you, what would my mask say, Jason?
No more Call of Duty. I've got your PlayStation at gunpoint. And that is this week's Rogue News. This is brought to you by our patrons at patreon.com/modernrogue. Go join the fun. We'll see you next time. If you have any ideas, suggestions, or articles that you want the Rogue News to cover, send it to modernrogueshow@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.